Varun, you didn't join us. What do you think about RDJ coming back? What do you think about Deadpool and Wolverine? Like, dude, what's happening? Marvel. You're the Marvel guy.
What do you want me to talk about first?
Whatever you're more
RDJ or
excited about.
I'm more excited about Deadpool and Wolverine, like the movie. So
Okay.
I think the initial review that I gave, which is available for members only. If you're not a member, subscribe and join the channel, and you'll get to see an exclusive video. That's a review for the movie. And I think I still believe in what I said in that review, that I enjoyed it a lot. It was very fun, like amazing theater experience with packed first day fan audience.
Shouting, screaming.
Yes, exactly, like full on. But the issues with my movie was that all those emotional aspects and all that writing, it was very surface level. It did not go deep into anything. It did not, even spend much time on anything. And most of the time, the emotion part was just happening because the characters were literally saying it out loud, that I miss my family. That photo, he showed it like multiple times. I miss them. This is my world. And like that, it did not really work for me. And same with I think the same problem that Marvel has always had is that the villain problem, which has been existing for since they have been around. So it's the same issue that like yeah, sure, there was like a motivation and reasoning, but none of it was again very developed, very surface level. And she gets killed at the end also. It's not even like they're gonna bring her back. And again, the problem which has existed with like all three Deadpool movies with me is that they are funny, but then they sometimes just don't understand, or they just take certain jokes too far that they end up being not funny, and then you're just sort of stopping the emotional moments from like sort of shining through. So I mean, those were my issues. But then whatever I liked, I think what everyone, all of you liked, I saw some parts of the live, so I know that what all of you liked, like I liked all of that too. So that's why I'm not talking about that, because you all talked about that already.
Okay.
But
Did you
yeah,
watch my video?
I saw,
The
and I saw all of that.
deeper,
I agree with whatever you
deeper
said, but
meaning
it's
video.
not. It's not really deeper meaning. Like that's what it was. They were showing, right? That yeah, the characters are all those cameo characters are. Hey, this is spoiler free
Yeah.
or
Spoiler,
spoiler?
spoiler.
Yeah. So all those Fox characters, and they all wanted one last redemption because they never got the name. Like that was all there in the movie, but that's not. It still does not affect, or it does not make that the what the whole point of this movie was, like much more interesting for me, I'll say that.
But which was your most like cameo which just surprised you? Blade?
I think Henry Cavill Wolverine, yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, there
that.
was I think when Marvel said recently that they planted fake rumors or fake sort of leaks for the movie. So one of them was that Daniel Radcliffe will play a Wolverine variant. So when they showed from behind, they did not show the face. I was like, wait, is that Daniel Radcliffe? And I was like, wait,
But
it does
that
not look like him, like
muscles,
on
yeah.
muscle. Yeah, that's what I was like. Wait, what is it? CGI face on, like they put his CGI face on Hugh Jackman or something, and then they showed Cavill, and I was like, oh, what? They actually did that. Like they made it possible. Wow.
But do you
So
think
yeah,
that's like how we got as Fantastic Four guy in Multiverse of Madness?
Johnny Storm.
No, no,
No.
no.
Oh, that.
John
Oh, okay,
Krasinski.
okay. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a
Mr.
one-off
Fantastic.
thing they did,
Yeah,
or is it like a
definitely. I think.
setup for something?
Nah, one-off thing. It's.
Okay,
I think these
something
kind of
we
things
didn't talk.
appear
You
to love.
know, Sahil, someone revealed it that the way he brings out his claws, Henry Cavill, is same in Mission Impossible. The way he does this,
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, I didn't
Haha.
notice that. Like he just brings his claws like this and then he hits him hard.
Yeah.
That was really
Oh,
cool.
okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of feel the story thing what you're saying, right? I saw it in the video I said, right? I saw it in that aspect also. I never saw it like, oh, he cares about the family and that's what matters. Like I don't think Deadpool films are those that deep in that sense. So it's about the family and the characters, the build up and all they have. I think it's more. Yes, it is surface level, but it's more about these bigger ideas the film was dealing with, which is, I want to matter. And I don't think
Mm.
that has anything to do. I think that's the plot point of his world is to die and he wants to save them. But I think the bigger aspect is that he says, right, I don't know how to save people. I've never done that. That's the point I took from that
Hmm.
line, not
He has
how
that.
his
In
family.
second film, he saved that kid. Like that was literally the whole plot.
Yeah, but he
That
doesn't.
kid, right?
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to save the world, right? He's a save the kid. You get my point. Like first film is all about
Yeah, that's
revenge.
what, like, we are deriving more meaning from it. That's
But
my issue.
that's
That I don't want to derive this. The film should show that, no?
for me, it's the best of out of all the three because here I feel there's more.
Oh,
The moment you
okay.
said right, they take jokes and sometimes you want it to be serious. I feel other films the context was not good enough for me emotionally that it was just joke and okay. And I don't think I've revisited those films here, but I've already seen this film twice and I'm ready to check it out again. But it's
Yeah,
like
I'm going to watch it twice, I think, in
that's
some
great.
days too. Yeah.
But
Or second time.
the the the, the way the thing is I am happy with what they didn't do, like they could have done
Hmm.
so many things which are just fan service and MCU. Like I love
Yeah.
the fact that we don't get to see any MCU character. It's all about Fox.
Did you realize, like, we aren't, like, Deadpool is still not in the main
Yeah,
sacred timeline, right? He's
yeah.
still in his own world.
And I think that's the
I
point of
really
the
like
film.
that. Yeah.
I love the fact that it starts like the scene with Happy, right? For me, it's not just like, oh, Happy made a cameo. He's in the those toys are there, whatever Easter eggs of, and they even show it. Who these Avengers are. Like that is kind of the setup for me is that not the setup. Oh, his world is gonna die. The setup is
Hmm.
that he thinks he matters only if he joins Avengers and he learns what it really means to be a hero from there and what he gets rejected in a sense that you are not a hero,
Hmm.
and then that's the story that he wants to matter. That's the arc of Deadpool in this film, not him saving the world, like saving his friends or
Yeah,
the world
I
and
get
all.
that, but it was still very surface level. That's what my point is.
Yeah,
Like, all that, there was an arc. I'm not saying there's no arc. I'm not saying that there was no, emotional hook or whatever. But it was all very surface level. That's my main point. Like, and the thing is, the first Deadpool film, which is still my favorite, I would say the first one is my best. Then the third one, and second is probably at third ranking. But yeah, it does such a good job of showing a proper love story. It takes time to develop that love story, and it takes time to show why, like, he, like, once his face gets all burnt up and all that, like, he does not even want to see, what's her name, Vanessa or whatever. Like, it gets the emotions right, and it still has its own issues. It's not a perfect film, but, like, it still does all of that right. And the fact that, yeah, a lot of that emotions was missing, and then the whole subplot with, like, Vanessa, like, she has left him and all that, and now whatever was happening, like, none of that worked for me because, again, it was all very surface
but
level.
for me, what reinstated the fact that the arc is when she goes into his mind, and then we get that
Hmm.
moment of the breakup in a sense, and then again that scene is twisted to show
Hmm.
that she
Like
says
how
she never said
he
that.
yeah.
She never said that. So I'm like, again, the film is kind of reinforcing the fact what the real stakes are. No, it's not. And all the thing you're saying surface level plot and it's like just there for the sake of it. I think that is just there in service of making this arc possible, which is about a send off to the
Hmm.
Fox or about redeeming this world. See, that's what I'm saying. Maybe after you watch it second time, maybe we can talk again. But the second time, the way each dialogue hits, right? It gives a
Hmm.
different context altogether. Suddenly, I'm not first time. It's like, oh plot, this will happen. Oh, that has to happen. Oh, that's the whole MacGuffin and everything. But second time I'm watching, I'm like, dude, this is not about the plot at all. This is not about the world dying. It's not about the machine because we don't normally we would spend a lot of time on the machine. We'll constantly go. We would have seen Paradox fixing the machine. Oh, do it fast, I have to do it. And those moments you'll get, which is always in these kind of films, to build up the villain and everything. But here it's not there because that's not the point of the film. Even the sacrifice, like this is antimatter matter, they quickly one dialogue and move on. Yeah, they saved. Yeah, they survived a Madonna song. So the film is, I like the film is not trying to make the surface level plot giving more context to it, because that's not the point of the narrative. I like that because
Yeah, that's
some
not the
films.
point. But there's no other point also. That's my problem.
I'm saying the other point is that bigger theme, right? But anyways, this after you watch second time we'll talk again.
Yeah.
But RDJ, Russo brothers.
RDJ. Russo Brothers was, in some ways, I saw it coming. I think it was one of those things that neither, like, Marvel has already been going through the low point, which they said in Deadpool and Wolverine also. And Russo Brothers have honestly not also been doing well outside of Marvel. Like, their past 4-5 years films are forgettable at best. They are trying to get more into, like, TV show and all that. forgot which series they were making or something. But not really, like their work has
Citadel.
also not been that great. So it was something that was like, yeah, they Russo brothers and Marvel work together very well. We have such a big like proof of that. So it's like a good option or it's a good choice to bring them back. The RDJ casting, I'm kind of mixed about that. I think it worked for the hype. It definitely did its job of making that hype, and it's everywhere. The picture, the news, it's everywhere now. So it has done that. But as for the actual, like, yeah, I would have liked to see someone else as Doctor Doom, and maybe there is someone else also. Like, he's not the primary Doctor Doom. There's another Doctor Doom, and this variant will replace him or something. Like, they can still do that. They can still literally take whatever story they've developed for Kang, what was initially Kang Dynasty, and just replace Kang with Doom. And I think a lot of that storyline will still work, because Doom is also a character who, like, in comics and all that, like, there are multiple variants of him, and he has met his own variants, he has worked with his own variants, like that kind of thing. So I can see how they are going to sort of probably take the same script and work off that version and make their own version. But like, it's not like, I think that a lot, I feel like whatever story they had initially developed for Kang Dynasty can work with Doomsday also. So that's why, yeah, like, let's see. I think it's one of those things that I'm not fully sure of how I would like to see RDJ as Doctor Doom, but it did the job that they wanted to do at Comic-Con that year. But as for everything else, like, we just have to wait and know more about the movie.
Totally agree with your point. There is this point that I feel Russo brothers have in interviews before mentioned that the story they love to tell is Secret Wars. But I think before Kang and everything, with the direction that Marvel was going, they didn't want to do that, and that's why they left. Like, they left as in they didn't want to tell that story. They wanted to tell the comic story that they love telling. And I think the way they again came on board and they said, we grown up, that's the first comic I picked up and the story, and I think they brought RDJ as Doom. That because they wanted him, they love working with him, they see him as that character. And I think they, as you said, they're gonna use the same story of Kang Dynasty. I think they're gonna change because they're doing both the films just like before.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like it's gonna be like the first film is like how Thanos was in the Infinity War, it's his story, and Avengers are just it's a second fiddle, and then it lead to Secret War, which is a big Avengers film. But interesting. But I also think there are a lot of people like see what Marvel has done. They've just brought him back, and this like the moral like. Questioning the principles of the studio, like their only motive is to make a good film, and make a lot of money at the box office. They don't care if you think they took a step down morally and they don't can sit on the high horse and all of that. They never said that. They never said we'll not do it. If there's no other director, they've got so many directors which didn't work out. They don't see anyone else taking up a big project. They think it's such a big films they're making, they have to bring back Russo brothers who has done that. All their 4 films are the best films of this universe. So it makes total logical sense to bring them back if things are not working. And it's an admission of their defeat that their films are not working. Duh. Like, what is this? That you want them to put them down and give them a see you failed, like, kind of a tag. So I don't understand that fact, but yeah.
I mean, also this is Disney we are talking about, like morals and all that. They left that years ago. You can't even talk about that. Like, if you actually want to talk,
even if they had said that, they took a stance that we'll not never bring him back, all of that. Even after that, they would have done it, it still be fine, But they didn't even said that. You guys made up that they will never bring him back. He's done. He's untouchable now. Who cares, man?
I think I always knew that he would come back, but I thought he will come back as Iron Man. That's what I believe.
If it was announced Iron Man, right, I would not be that happy.
Yeah, I would have been. I think I would also have not been happy. But
I think it's better. This is better. If someone was said right that we got Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr., Captain America and Iron Man within 24 hours as different characters.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Oh yeah.
But guys, those were Varun's thoughts. Let us know yours in the comments. This was fun. This was like versus. Varun has different thoughts. I had different thoughts, and we'll fight when he watches the second time, and I'll prove him that he's wrong. Thank you guys for watching. Keeping out.